Welcome to the Coach Harp Show. Today we have a very special guest. Matter of fact, he's a world champion. He was also known as the world's fastest man too. He loves sprinting. You can't catch him because he's so fast. He's also wrote a book. We'll talk a little bit about his book. That's why I won't mention what the book is going to be about. Welcome to the show, Tyree, Washington.
I also appreciate it. I'm delighted to be here, Coach Hart.
Thank you, Tyree. I'm always fascinated about childhood, growing up. Maybe share a little bit about your journey as being growing up from your teens to you got older, and share a little bit about your school experience too.
Yeah, well, my mother and my grandmother raised me, and I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. And I talk about that in my book. And she taught me how to cook, and I'm an avid baker, and I love being in the kitchen. But I grew up in the environment. I mentioned this in my book it was called Montgomery Village, aka the Village. And within that village, it was really bad. I mean, you had a lot of gangs, drugs, prostitution. I mean, when reality TV hit, everybody went crazy. Everybody was just like, it's amazing. But I didn't need reality TV, because when I always talk about when I walked out of my front door, it was like there was always something happening. It was somebody getting beat up. There was somebody going to jail, somebody getting killed. So that was like my norm. That was a normal for me. And I did dabble. I dabbled in the gangs and with the Crips, and because I felt like I didn't have a father, and I felt like being a part of this gang was going to give me a sense of family and have a sense of this the older guys, they can be a father figure for me. But as when you're on the streets and you're living that life of just constantly having your head on a swivel and just learn how to carry a gun, shoot a gun, and trying to take someone else's life, sooner or later it's like your name could be called and your life could be taken. So for me, I was so grateful that I got involved in athletics, because athletics changed my life. My coaches showed me that there's something bigger than just being on the streets. It's bigger than just gangs. It's bigger than just hurting people, that I actually can use a talent that God gave me athletically to go to get a college scholarship and potentially go be a professional athlete.
Thank you for sharing that. You mentioned gangs. Can you go a little bit more into that? Is it like, I know it's a sense of belonging, but did you actually get that? Or were you being told by other people, do this, do that?
No, for me, I mean, it was a number of reasons. I mean, I saw the gangs had a lot of money. They had nice clothes. They're around beautiful women, but it was also a sense of it was family, and someone would have your back. If somebody tried to attack you, then you would have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, or more than that would be able to defend you. And so for me, that was attractive back then. I mean, like I said earlier, that my head was always on a swivel within this village, because I didn't know that if somebody was going to shoot me, if they were going to stab me. But if I have people to watch my back, I had a sense of security. But young kids that get involved in gangs, a lot of times they don't have that father figure. They don't have that security with family. They don't have that financial security, and so they're looking for somebody to be able to take care of them, so they can be able to survive and see another day, because it's always day by day.
Thank you for sharing that. I like how you use sports to change your life around. Let's talk about that. How was your school life?
My school life was tough. I mean, as a youngster, I was a fighter. I was always fighting, and I was fighting so much, Coach Harp, that my mother had to go to school with me and sit in class so I wouldn't fight. And when my mother was there, I didn't fight. I just had that respect for her. But if she wasn't in class, I was fighting. But I remember one day at football practice, because I was playing Pop Warner, and my coach told me, he said, because he heard about me fighting, and I was very talented as a young football player. He said, if you continue to fight, he says, you're going to end up dead, you can end up in jail or prison. And so those are my options. And I literally had tears falling down my face, because I idolized and I looked up to Walter Payton and Eric Dickerson. Those are the two athletes when I was a little boy that I wanted to be like. I wanted to meet them, and I wanted to go to the NFL and do all the things that they were doing. And so I literally changed my ways, because I knew sooner or later it's like putting bullets in a barrel and spinning it, playing Russian roulette. You know, you keep pulling that trigger, sooner or later you're going to get hit. Your life is going to be taken, and I didn't want to take that I didn't want to take that risk, and I wanted to put all my marbles in the basket. You know, all my marbles in the basket with doing good in school academically, and putting all my time and effort and becoming a better athlete.
Thank you for sharing that. How did your love for sprinting came about?
It was fun. I felt free. I felt free sprinting. I mean, one thing about track and field, it is an individual sport. I mean, of course they have relays, but it's all about you putting your time and effort in something that you love, so you can be able to reap the benefits from it. And whenever I ran, I felt like I didn't have any problems. I didn't have no care in the world, and I could just free like a bird, just roaming through the earth. And I had a sense of just peace. I had a sense of peace when I was practicing on the track. I was on the grass. If I was in the stadium and competing for 100,000 people, I mean, I just always felt that peace, and nothing else mattered but just running and just trying to do my best.
Thank you for sharing that. How is track comparison to football?
Well, track, obviously, I mean, with track, you can't gain too much weight. You can't gain too much muscle. All right, you can't carry that. And that was a problem I had when I played professional football, is that I would go and put on a lot of weight because I'm trying to make a team. And then when that didn't work out, then I had to drop that bulk and slim back down so I could be able to carry the weight run around the track. I was a 400-meter runner, so if I'm too heavy, that's going to cause a lot of problems for me, to where I'm going to build up a lot of lactic acid, and it's going to restrict me from reaching my full potential.
I read a little bit, but you mentioned you played in the NFL. What team did you play for?
I played for the San Diego Chargers, now the LA Chargers. Yeah, and that was a great experience. I mean, it was good. I thought I was going to get pretty much invited to the NFL draft in 1999, but I wasn't able to get in because it was too late, because my agent missed the deadline. And so they told me that I'll be able to get in the supplemental draft. And these are athletes that may have just missed that, like I said, the NFL draft, and these are kind of late bloomers. But I didn't get picked up in the supplemental draft. But the San Diego Chargers, they informed my agent that they'll pick me up they'll pick me up from being a free agent. And so I ended up signing with them, and it was going great. And I was doing really good in camp until I got injured on my left knee, and then I got released. And then I decided I was going to go back and run track. I wanted to go back and run track, but then the Oakland Raiders picked me up. But I didn't go to the Oakland Raiders. I was actually going to be on the team, but I decided that I was young in my marriage, that I need to focus on my marriage rather than to live out my dream.
That's interesting. Family life, marriage, having a decision. You want a career in the NFL, stuff like that. You had the opportunity. That's awesome. You know, that's a lot of people's dreams. And you also mentioned Walter Payton, Sweetness.
Sweetness.
Who would not love Sweetness, right?
Sweetness was amazing. I mean, just like how he used to just slip through the tackles, and just he had that little skip move, and I as a little boy I tried to mimic that. I mean, and he just seemed like he was a ballerina playing football. And Eric Dickerson, he was the same way. He was so great. He was so graceful. You know, they both had an amazing football IQ, and they were pinballs. And so I wanted to wear. I didn't have any problem with my eyes, but as a young boy, I wanted to wear the goggles too, just like Eric Dickerson. And I had the neck brace. Even though I didn't know these two individuals, and for me, they were like surrogate fathers from afar. There was somebody I can look up to that was very positive, and they had a huge influence in the world. They were giving back to their communities, and I wanted to be like that. And so I think a lot of times there's a lot of young boys out in the world that may not have that positive father figure that may be in the home or close to them, but you can still look at other men and women out there that can be that positive figure for you to be able to help you to be successful in life. And so I always say that I had a lot of surrogate mothers and fathers in my life. I refer to those as my lifelines, my angels, that when I was down and out and I was struggling in my life, they reached out their hand, they picked me up, and they helped me. I will be forever grateful for that.
That's amazing. If you can't get it at home, go find that positive role model that's doing something good in the world. Good on you, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem.
As we're more continuing here about family, what does that mean to you?
It's just unconditional love. I mean, when you have family, it's supposed to be unconditional love, and it's supposed to be that it's like a marriage. It's through for better or for worse. We're not perfect individuals. We're all flawed. We're all going to fall short. But family is going to be there to support you. They're going to be there to you. They'll be there to tell you when you're wrong. They're not going to be the yes people, because I'm not always right, and none of us are always right. But you need those people to get in your face in love, to tell you when you're not going down the right path. And so I look at family is that it's all about unconditional love.
That's awesome. Is there any tips that you like to give? Like, I know a lot of guys, especially a lot of young men, are very angry as they're growing up, stuff like that, and they're making choices. They look for a sense of belonging. I'd like to hear from you. What is your advice on that topic and just general in life? If you could share some of Mr. Washington's wisdom.
Yeah, I would just tell them just to love who you are. Don't self-sabotage everything that you're working towards. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you are young in your life and you want to be involved in athletics, your academics. If it's you want to get a scholarship one day, if you want to become an entrepreneur, whatever it may be, is that hang around people that are going to lift you up and they're going to lead you in the right direction. As a young boy, I had this self-hate for myself. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the color of my skin. I didn't like the size of my body, and I felt like I was always less than. And because I was looking out in the world, I was looking at what everybody else was having. But the thing of it is that you never know what someone else is going through. People are always going through something. Somebody may have a lot of zeros in their bank account. They may be very, very wealthy, but they may be very, very lonely, right? And they may be suicidal. They may have a lot of mental issues. So I just encourage young people and just people in general is to love who you are. What God made is beautiful. It's excellent. It's phenomenal, and you're going to be flawed. That's a given. We're all flawed. There's 8 billion people on this planet. I mean, and no one's always going to do the right thing, but just look in the mirror and appreciate who you are, appreciate everything about yourself, and don't try to work on perfection, because perfection does not exist. Just focus on getting better at everything you do and take those baby steps. You're not going to get to your goal right away. I mean, Michael Jordan got cut from his basketball team, right? And years later, he became the greatest basketball player of all time. So things take time, and like I said, it's just that like my late pop said, nothing happens before it's time. When it's time for you to get what you deserve, it's going to happen, and nobody can stop it.
Thank you. I know you hit something there. I know I've asked this question to my previous guest on the Coach Harp Show. I'm going to ask you now too, from where you come from, your space and your environment. Is mental health a stigma, or is it real?
No, mental health is definitely real, because we have to look at the world, right? I mean, we all look in the world, we all look at what we should have and what we should be doing. And just because, like I was saying earlier, you never know someone else's walk. And especially females suffer from mental health as well as men, but we have it even worse, because growing up, most of us, it's been embedded in us that you cannot cry, you cannot show any weakness. And so as a young boy, that's been ingrained in us. And then over the years, it just constantly gets suppressed, but it constantly just keeps on building and building until one day it erupts like a volcano. And we all have triggers. And I believe that it's like bad things happen to everybody. And if you're not able to get rid of that toxicity, if you're not able to get rid of that negativity, and you compartmentalize it, like you put it in the storage, expecting it not to overflow, which is going to. One day, it's like everything's going to align and something's bad is going to happen. So it's not a stigma. The best of the best deal with it. It doesn't really matter who you are. The president of the United States, you have kings and queens, professional athletes, you have supermodels. Everybody on this planet deals with mental health. And I think instead of just focusing on what everybody else is doing and what we're not doing, we just need to focus on having gratitude for everything that we have. They say gratitude gives you a better attitude. And that's what, and sometimes that's hard for us to be able to digest, but I believe that's one of the keys to be able to help in mental health, as well as getting open with someone that is an expert psychologist, psychiatrist, to be able to pull out whatever negativity and toxicity that you've been suppressing all your life.
Thank you for the advice. I'm going to take some advice myself too.
I do. I'll take it. I say I take it.
What we want to know is, what are you doing these days now?
Yeah, so now I have a nonprofit, Athletes First Asthma, and I have asthma. A lot of people don't believe that. They're like, well, how is it that you became the fastest man in the world in the 400 meters, which is one of the hardest events to run on the planet? Well, I mean, it's support. Right? Everything is support. I had great doctors, and I owe a lot of my credit to Dr. Vish Mahesh out in Chino Hills, California, who's treated me over 20-something years, and he's still one of my physicians. So, they say that, there's a saying that it takes a village to raise a child, but you could be in a negative village. So I encourage everybody to hang around positive people and have a good support system. And so I have Athletes First Asthma. We have our first annual football skills camp. It's gonna be June 2023, which is this year, at my alma mater, San Bernardino Valley College. And we have a lot of professional football players that are current and former that'll be involved, and actors, actresses, and so that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm getting ready to write another book, a children's book about my asthma, because I want to get back to the young people, and I want to instill that hope in them, and I want to give them inspiration and motivation that despite having the disease, that they can still push forward in life and they can do some amazing things in their own right. And I'm working on a movie. I have a lot of projects. Working on a movie about my life. First, it was write the book, which is done, and now it's getting ready to do a movie. We're going to 624 Productions out in New Jersey. Tom is going to be the director. He's amazing, and they have a great team, and we have a lot of other people that will be involved. So I have a lot of stuff. I just signed to be a consultant with my own my former college, my alma mater, San Bernardino Valley College, to help the track and field team. I tell you, Coach Harp, a lot of people, they're like, man, what do you don't do? And the deal is that I keep everything under my umbrella, right? It's all about helping people. That's who I am. And so a lot of these projects, it's more than just Tyree Washington. It's not about, it's like, well, this is what I'm doing, like bragging, but it's about how can I be able to inject this hope into the world and help people that are going through the same issues that I was going through many years ago. How can I help them? How can I help them now? And this is my way to be able to help them on a broader level, on a global level. And so I'm super excited about that. It's about legacy. It's about, when my time is up here on earth, what did I leave? Like what seeds did I plant here on earth to be able to help other people? Because it's not all about Tyree Washington. It's about me helping people. And I don't care about your race. I don't care about your color. I don't care about your financial situation, your geographic area. That means nothing to me. I look at everybody as a human being. And if I see that I can be able to help you, then I'm just going to help you. I'm going to do what I can.
I love that. You're coming from a servant, humble mindset. That's what the world needs quite a bit. Your book, that's on Amazon right now. Where can we get it? And what's the name of your book?
Yeah, so the name of my book is, I got it right here. It's Against All Odds. And you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. And when I wrote my book, I wanted people to be able to take a lot from it. And when you finish the read, I have my Tyree's Top 10 Takeaways for Success. And these are 10 things that will help you in your life. It helped me in my life. It will help you in your life, just to elevate everything that you're doing. It'll help you in your your business. It'll help you in your marriage. It'll help you in your academics. It'll help you athletically. Help you spiritually. It'll help you in so many different areas. And I'm still a work in progress. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. And every day, I have 6 kids, and my kids teach me something. And I'm just like, wow, like I had no idea. I'm 46 years old. How did I not know that? And so I think that's the beauty of life. I think once you act as if you know everything, that's when you are behind the 8 ball, and you'll find out you really don't know. You don't really know anything. You don't really know that much. So I just encourage that people just always be open-minded, and you never know who you're gonna meet that's gonna change your life. And like I said, it doesn't matter geographic area, race, color, whoever. Is that one person can change your life. And just going back with the mental health, is that if you are struggling with mental health, because I'm a big, huge advocate with Athletes for Hope as an ambassador for mental health, is reach out and get help. Okay, I mean I get help. All right, I don't have all my ducks in order. I get help when I'm struggling. And I'll go back. It's not even when you're struggling. It's just that even when you're doing good, you want to reach out to someone to talk to them to help you keep you on track, right? Because we all get jumped. We can all fall off the wagon and jump off track. But that person will help keep you on your track. But when you're really struggling, they'll help you as well. So,
thank you. I love what you're saying right there. If someone wants to get hold of you, what are some of the ways?
Yeah, you can go to my nonprofit website, Athletes vs. Asthma. You can go to info at you go to www.athletesversasthma.org. If you want to send me an email, you can go to info.athletesversasthma.org and send me a message. You go to my Instagram account, which is the real Tyree S. Make sure you put the S in the middle. All right, my middle name is Shannon Washington, and you go there, and then you go to my Facebook at Tyree S Washington. So there's many ways to get a hold of me. If you have any questions, you can definitely DM me. I'll try to get to it, but a lot of times I have so many direct messages. Just try to do my best. And make sure you donate. All right, make sure you donate. We got this event coming up. All right, in June. All right, June 24th, O2 Power Games Football Skills Camp. We need donations. Those donations will go towards helping put this event on for the kids who have asthma, right? These are kids that are part of this. These are kids that have asthma, respiratory issues that will be a part of this football skills camp. So I'm super excited about it. Me and my team, my managing director, Jennifer.
When you said to donate, can they go to your website and they could donate from there?
Yes, you can donate. You can donate on our Athletes vs. Asthma website. And I always tell people, feel free to donate whatever you can. It all adds up to be able to put on our first event, and as well as that we send money towards research to be able to help find a cure for asthma. Because the whole thing as far as asthmatics is that we want to be able to, as far as myself as well, is that I want to help all asthmatics have a better quality of life. Because people don't talk about it enough. It does, having asthma does kill. It can take your life.
Therese, I want to say thank you for being on the Coach Harp Show today.
I appreciate it, Coach Harp.
Everyone watching the Coach Harp Show, stay tuned for more fabulous guests in Season 3 of the Coach Harp Show. You go to Coach Harp at www.coachharp.ca. Have yourself a great day. Thank you.